So we've had lots of questions about what your first car was, and I think it's a really lovely, lovely story. So would you share it with us?
Yeah, right. What I'm about to tell you is all true. I don't tell any porkies. It actually happened. And I was brought up in, you know, Broughton Astley. And my dad was in the haulage business up till 1952, when the Labour government got in and nationalised the road transport. It became the BRS. So they actually took the business off them. Strange thing is, our family were Labour voters, unbelievably, although they're always in business. But I think Labour's different than to what it is now. But anyway, first car was an Austin Big 7 CJF 307.
You remember the registration?
And I do, because I've still got the bloody logbook for it, and I can tell you why I've still got it. Anyway, I was down my Uncle Sam's yard, and a chap pulled up in the yard with this Austin Big 7 for sale. 1937-38, they only made it for a couple of years. Anyway, he wanted 45 quid for it.
Which today would have been?
Well, fair bit of money, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went running up to the shop up my dad. I said, "Hey, Dad, there's a chap here, car for sale, car for sale." So we come out of the shop, and his sister worked at the shop. So he come down. He said, "Oh yeah, very good, very good." He said, "And how much is it?" I said, "Well, the bloke wants 45 quid for it." So he says, "Well, he got 45 quid." I said, "No, he ain't." Well, he says,
"You're not having it then?"
"It ain't a surprise you're going to be 17, lad. You should have saved your bloody money, shouldn't you?" I said, "Yeah, but..." Anyway, he said, "I'll tell you what I'll do." He said, "I'll give you 25 quid, you've got to come up with 20. I said, "Well, he would have sold it by then. And that's when he said, "It's not a surprise you're going to be 17. Anyway, I did everything and anything I could.
What sort of jobs did you do?
Spud picking, fat hen pulling in fields.
Hen
yeah, forget.
pulling?
I don't want a botanical name for it. It's a bit like a bloody great stalky weed. You had to go.
So not actually like doing chickens?
It had nothing to do with hens. No, we used to call it fat hen. I don't know bloody why. Anyway, the chap named Ian Scabby used to go around with an old Chevy lorry, logging and selling kindling in an old Chevy lorry around there. I did everything I could for ages. It took me ages
to get them 20 anyway. Quid. This is to get 20 quid.
Just to get 20 quid. Anyway, I got the 20 quid. I said, "I've got, ring him. Well, this chap's name was Eric Lads. Ladds. He got quite thick glasses on, parting down the middle, little pencil tash, sort of a shiny suit. I remember him ever so well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said, ring him. I'll ring him in the morning. Anyway, he rang him. I can hear the comment. "Mr. Ladd, it's Wilson at Broughton Astley. Have you still got that little Austin 7? He said, "Yes." Oh, bloody hell. Anyway, I had it. Well, I blew it up in the first bloody week nearly.
What did you do?
Started burning it all, so I pulled the engine to bits and put it right. But it always suffered from chronic clutch slip. It was a bugger. I could never stop it bloody shoving all out the back man onto the clutch. And we used to put the little inspection hole on the bell housing so you could set the timing. We used to emptied all the fire extinguishers at work because it had pouring like a degreaser. We used to shove that in it.
Oh my
anyway,
God, Dad.
I had that for a fair while. Then I sold it to a lad in the next village, Bernard Clay. I don't know whether you're still out there, Bernard, but anyway, he gave me 20 quid and he was going to give me another 30 quid when he got it. So he took the car, but I kept the logbook. Well, I never see Bernard Clay again or the bloody car. So that was the end of that. That's why I've still got the logbook. Anyway, years later, I got my shop in Leicester. This is 50 odd years later.
Can't believe
this old
it.
boy's in my shop and he'd got grey hair, still little pencil tash and glasses, I looked at him, I said, I know your bloody face, mate. I said, mate, he got some stuff he wanted to sell. He lived at Enderby then. And I was talking to him, I said, your name ain't Eric, is it? He said, yeah. He looked at me a bit old fashioned. Anyway, I says, Eric Lads? He said, yeah. I could have looked at him like a bloody poleaxe him. I said, would you come in my office and have a cup of tea? Well, I said, no, I just want to ask you something, mate. Yeah, all right. So I made him a cup of tea. I says, tell me, did you live at Ayleston at one time and do a bit of car dealing? He said, I did. He said, I weren't a car dealer, I used to do a bit from home. I says, I don't know whether you remember this, but you had a little Austin Big 7, CJF 307. He says, yeah, I did. And he says, I remember that car quite well. I says, who did you sell it to? He said, I sold it to a bloke in Broughton Astley for his son. I says, I'm that son. He says, you never are. I said, I bloody well am. And of course, we were reminiscing, but I always suspected that my dad had paid for that car and made me work for the 20
£20,
quid.
yeah.
And I says, he said, I know you're going to ask me. He says, he paid me for it.
Oh.
And he says, take it away and I'll ring you when I want it. Will you keep it for me till I get you? He said, yeah, no problem. I says, well, I'm that bloody lad.
Yeah.
And
your dad never told you that, did he?
No, my dad never told me that at all until my dad died when I was 19. Dodgy age 19, because you think you know everything when you're 19.
You need your dad the most.
Well, I thought I knew everything, but you actually know bugger all. Anyway, I can't bloody find it. I've looked and looked again. My dad had lovely copper plate writing. Dad's handwriting was fantastic. Mine's bloody useless. I never
it's not great.
inherited that from him at all. But anyway, and I found the receipt, and it was signed over a stamp. You used to have a stamp, yes, a postage stamp.
Yeah.
And you sign your name over that for some reason. I don't know why, but that's how it was done in them. I found it and I put it somewhere safe. That bloody safe, I can't bloody well find it. Which
No.
is because if I do find it, I'm going to frame it and hang it up.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was it. But that's how my dad was. It was always, my dad always, if he took an interest, it encouraged me, and you know, and if I did the wrong thing, there was no use going to him. Anyway, that's the story of the Austin Big 7. Mine were a 2-door, by the way. They did do a 4-door, but we're a bit of a. I mean, they're all right for what they are. It were a test bed for the Austin 8, really. The engine was. You ain't got the Austin 7 engine in it. But to be honest, it were a bloody useless thing.
So I'm quite fortunate then, like you, because you bought my first car for me.
I did.
You bought me a 1.2 Ford Fiesta.
I did.
I think it was 1998
I don't know what it was.
or 9.
Yeah.
It had grey interior with fag burns in it.
Did it really?
And the
We're talking about fag, weren't we?
And the number plate you bought me was worth more than my actual car.
Were it really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway.